Hi students, welcome to our channel Study Shade. This is a new channel which we have formed thinking about all students studying from class 6 to 12. What we have observed over the weeks during this pandemic situation is that the online classes conducted by schools are mostly focusing on the students of class 9 to 12. So the students of 6 to 8 are really lagging behind in the studies, which might affect them in the future. So we are focusing for students class 6 to 8 plus 9 to 12 for their studies. So today the topic we have chosen is heat for class 7 physics. This is a very important chapter because this concept is required for your higher classes, and if the basic knowledge is reduced and not in a good position, then students might feel a bit of lagged behind when the concepts come up in the future classes. So let's begin. So the first thing when we come about with the chapter heat, the first question which should come to your mind is what is heat? Heat क्या होता है? So एक definition है. The definition is very important. Okay, so let's go through the definition, then we'll go to the explanation. So the definition says heat is a form of energy which flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. Okay, so if you can see on the screen, I have highlighted the key words very boldly in red color. Heat is a form of energy is a very important word. Higher temperature and lower temperature are very important words. Now you might not have come across the word keyword in your lower classes, but let me tell you, as you are growing up, going to the next class, you will be requiring to use few keywords which are going to fetch you marks in your exams, and if you don't mention them in your exam paper, teachers won't give you marks. So as you grow up, as you go to further classes, your answer construction doesn't matter. What matters is that you have understood the concept and you have used the correct words in the correct place. So again, let's go through the definition. Heat is a form of energy. Everyone should know what energy is by now. We have been studying this from class 4, 5, 6. What energy is? Energy is basically the capacity to do work. So what heat is that heat gives you energy which can create work or do work. For example, we cook. It's doing something, right? It's working out to cook food which we eat. हम लोग को खाना पकाने के लिए heat ज़रूरत है. We can't cook food with coldness. It's heat which is required. Now, when we have mentioned about higher temperature and lower temperature, we are talking about a degree. There is a low temperature, what you would say thanda, or cold, or there is higher temperature, garmi, garam, hot. So I think so this definition is a very clear definition. I suggest you to go through this definition by heart, learn this up. If you put down the whole definition word to word, your teacher is bound to give you marks in your exam. She can't cut 1 marks from your definition. So there are 2 more points. You might ask, what are the 2 more points? Are there 2 definitions? Actually, they are like the tail of the definition. These 2 points kind of explain what I wrote in the first point. It is a form of energy which we have mentioned in the definition. Sensation of hotness or coldness. See, this is a God-gifted thing which we have been given. भगवान ने हम लोग को स्किन दिया है. We can feel. We touch it. अच्छा बाबा ये बहुत गर्मी है. Or you touch an ice, एक बर्फ पकड़ लिया. Oh बाबा, it's very cold. Right? We say that. So this is a God-gifted sensation of hotness or coldness. And the amount of heat energy present in the sum of the kinetic and potential energies of all its molecule, it's a sentence which might not require you in class 7, but it's for your knowledge. This might help you in your future classes when potential and kinetic energies come about. They will also show that heat is always interrelated to other topics. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's next. So as I have mentioned, there is sensation of hotness and coldness. So in the first picture, we see there's fire, which is really hot. We won't dare to touch it, right? And then there's ice, which is cool. We might touch it, or mummy bolegi, no, don't touch it, you will feel cold, you will have fever, bukhar aa jayegi. See, so these are things. How do we humans know it? Because we have the sensation that we know that something is hot and something is cold. Otherwise, we wouldn't have felt anything. We know that it is hot, we know that it is cold. That's why we deduce it to a basic word called heat. So we go by the types of heat. One is hot. Objects of high heat content are defined as hot. This is something very easy. Everyone should know. I know my students are smart. Objects with high heat content are defined as hot. Now for examples, I have mentioned there is sun, fire, hot pans. Mummy kitchen mein khana paka rahi hai. You won't dare to touch the katori where she is cooking, right? Because we know it is hot. We won't dare to touch it. Or you came out of the salon and then salon person said that, okay ma'am, let me dry your hair and then I'll give you a cut. She'll use a hair dryer that will dry your hair. So that is hot. Otherwise, how, if you blow in cold air, will your hair get dry? No. It will further make it cool or maybe make it moist. So hotness is something which is like really hot objects around us. So we go next to cold. Cold are objects with lower heat content and are defined as cold objects. Hotness and coldness around object is a relative term, is always measured with respect to reference of an object. Just like we all say na, motu patlu, chotu lambu. Similarly, hot and cold goes around. Like all the millennial kids nowadays use this word hot and cool. Why do we say that? Because it's a very interrelated word. It goes hand in hand. And when we use these words, we use it with a reference to an object. Like we know ice is cold, fire is hot. We never say fire is cold, do we? We don't. So again, there is examples. Air conditioner, garmi lag rahi hai mummy, AC chala do. Nowadays a very common word. Why do we say that? We say that because we know we are feeling hot and we need to cool down the temperature. We bring down the temperature so that we feel cool or comfortable. Or very usual thing, even I used to do it in my childhood. I come out from the playing ground, I come back to my house, I open the fridge, take out a cool bottle of water. Why do I drink that cool water? To make myself cool, right? So coldness is something which everyone should understand by now. Lower heat content. It's not warm. You drink a cold water, do you feel something burning down your throat? No, we feel cool. Something cold went down. Now, thing might occur to you. All this while in your childhood, you might have made a mistake by saying this. Okay, heat versus temperature. Now, why am I saying heat versus temperature? You might have used in your childhood, said, okay, heat and temperature, same thing. Mummy, my head is temperature, I'm feeling feverish. People might say that, or mummy will come and say, yeah, your head is hot, tumko to bukhar chad gaya, temperature aa gaya. Now you might not have distinguished the difference between these two words all this while. You might think both of them are the same, but no, actually not. Now if you go and write in your exam paper heat and temperature same thing and put the same definition, a teacher will give you a big rasgulla. Now let me explain you why. See, there's a table in front of you. We're saying the definition. In this definition, you can read, there is total energy of the object that has molecular motion mentioned in heat. But here it's like the measure. Temperature has the word measure. There is no word as measure in the heat. So what we're saying is basically the temperature is bringing down into numbers. Like doctor comes to your house saying that, mummy saying that मेरा बेटे को बहुत बुखार हो गया है. Doctor comes, checks with the thermometer. हाँ, there is 100 degree Celsius और 100 degree fever है इसका. इसका तो बहुत जोर से बुखार आ गया है. So why we saying that 100? When we are mentioning the word 100, it means that we are deducing it to a number. We are putting it on a scale. When everyone says that rate my video in from 1 star to 5 star. We could everyone put 1 star, right? Or we put 5 star when we love it, right? So we are putting it down or reducing into a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 100. There's a scale in concept of temperature. But for heat, there is no scale. We cannot define it. We can say it's hot, but how hot? How can we say that? We need to say that by the use of temperature. So let's go. Temperature is something which is a scale. Now let's see the effects of heat on an object. Change in temperature of a body, change in shape of a body, change of state of matter. Now what am I saying about this? You apply heat to a body, there will be a change in temperature. You take out a ice from a fridge. Let us assume we are taking out a ice out from the deep freezer, we're keeping it outside. There is heat applied, or the atmosphere is applying heat to the body. That's why after some time you see that the ice has melted and created a complete watery mess. So what? There is a change of temperature. If you had recorded the ice taken out from the deep freezer, that would have been 0 degrees Celsius. You take it out, now it will be like around 1 degree Celsius or 2 degrees Celsius. Why am I saying this? There is a change in temperature. That's why there had been a change of shape. Change of shape or change of state. That brings us to the second point. Change in shape of the body. There was ice. Ice became water. You're getting my point? Ice was there. You can visualize it. Try to visualize what I say. Bring it in front of you. Imagine the picture what I'm saying. It will make it easier. There was ice in the fridge, you brought it out, it became water. There's a change of shape. It was solid cube, now it is watery mess. State of matter is the same thing. It was solid, now it became liquid. You further heat it, it will become a gas. So these are the 3 effects of heat. If teacher asks you in his question that, okay, children, tell me what are the effects of heat on an object, or what does heat to a body? You are going to put down these 3 points and it will give you 100% marks. Okay, now there are different methods of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. So let us go to the first one, conduction. As we can see in the screen, it is a process of heat transfer from hot end to cold end, from particle to particle of medium, without actual movement of particles. Okay, now copy down this definition. You always have the facility to pause the video or take a screenshot, or copy it down. But if you put down this definition in your exam paper, your teacher will be over impressed with you. Okay, this child has understood the concept. So this is what is saying, that there's a heat transfer hot end to cold end, what we understood in the first definition only, but there is a catch to it. Particle to particle of a medium. It means there is a item. Think a wood is there. Wood is made of particles, wood particles. When the heat is being transferred, it is transferring from a wood particle to wood particle in the same medium. Okay, for your better understanding, there is a table which I have formed in after a few slides. If you go through that table, it will make your concept even more easier. Okay, the second point is convection. It is a process of heat transfer by actual movement of medium particles. See, in the previous conduction, there was no movement of particles, but a thing being generated, right? Like, I hug a person, I was hot, the person wasn't so hot. Now, when I'm hugging the person also feels warm. That is called kind of conduction. For convection, you think you are playing passing the pillow. You have the pillow, you pass it to your friend, that person passes to the other friend, and the pillow goes on. So the pillow is moving. So there is the movement of the particle or movement of the medium of the particle. So you get my point. This is called convection. So you see the definition once again, read it, pause the video, give it a moment, give it a thought, then go on. So the last but not the least is radiation. Now radiation is something you must have heard. every child living in the 21st century, even a 5-year-old child, must know the word radiation. मम्मी मस्ट बी सिंग, बेटा फोन लेकर इतना मत रहो, रेडिएशन आता है, दिमाग में चोट पहुंचाएगा, रेडिएशन होगा, डोंट स्लीप विथ योर फोन. These are very common words, but we never gave a thought to it what radiation is. So now let us see what radiation is. It is a process of heat transfer in which heat directly passes from one body without affecting the medium. When radiation is passing by, we know that radiation, all the network towers are passing on radiation for us to contact each other. But do we see radio waves? No. Does it affect the air around us? No. We cannot feel it. We know that waves are going on, but it is not affecting the medium, I mean the air, through which it is traveling. So these are invisible electromagnetic waves. I have mentioned this very clearly. Invisible electromagnetic waves are the heat transfer are responsible for radiation. So this must be clear. Okay, let me show you the next slide, which will make your job very easy. See, I have brought in 3 distinct tables, 3 distinct columns to differentiate between conduction, convection and radiation. Okay, for radiation, you could also say microwaves are helping you in radiation. Okay, we are heating the food which we are putting inside the microwave, but actually not heating the surrounding air. The food is only getting heated, but nothing else, right? Or for conduction and convection, the best example is the pressure cooker which we have. See, all the 3 processes are happening inside a pressure cooker or outside a pressure cooker. Correct? You can pause the video, give it a moment, give it a thought, and then proceed. Now we have brought in a table for the main basic point, change of state. This should be there in your textbook. I know many of students don't have the textbook right now in hand. So for your better view, I have put in a slide, easier and concise. Now I say, let us take example of water. We'll use the water as the basic example and deduce this point to a very easy concept. Solids for water, you must have guessed it, is ice. For liquids, it is water which we are drinking. For gases, it is water vapor. Okay, so solids, ice melts to water, then becomes gas. For this, the process which is happening must have a name, right? So ice being melted down to water is melting. But when the water is again solidifying to become a solid ice, the process is called freezing. You can see the arrow. Okay, now we have water again. Water being boiled again means heat is being applied. It becomes gas. When you boil water, you boil tea, you lift up the lid of the container, you will see water vapors. There is a bit of haze happening up. That is the water vapor which we are talking about, gas. And again, if there is a bit of coldness applied to it or the temperature goes down, the gas becomes liquid again. That process is called condensation. Now, for gases to solids, which you can see, we cannot take the example of water because this process does not take place in water. But a very easy example for you can be camphor, kapoor, which mummy uses for puja. Kapoor or camphor shows the process of solidification and sublimation. What usually happens is when you keep a kapoor outside, you will see after few days it has vanished. What is happening? The solid object which was there becomes gas or evaporates. That is called sublimation. It does not change to liquid. It directly evaporates or disappears. That is called sublimation. Whereas when the evaporation thing cools down or somehow in some changes of environment, it becomes a solid. That is called solidification. So I have made it easier for you with these arrows. This will really help you for process. If you go through the diagram 2-3 times, draw it in your head, draw it in your copy without looking at the diagram, you will get it easier. So I've also put down the basic example and the definitions for all these processes. Give it a look, copy it down, it'll be helpful. So whenever there is heat being applied, there is always something known as thermal expansion. Now what am I talking about? You might think, what Hebrew is being spoken about? Thermal expansion, never heard of it. Okay, thermal expansion is basically the changes in the body or the surroundings due to heat. Okay, if you can observe, now summer is going on, you will observe all your door panels are a bit tight. What has happened is actually the wood particles have expanded due to the heat and the humidity around us. Similar things happen in our railway tracks or in the hanging bridges. They expand or they increase in their size. Again, when winter falls back, they again contract and become smaller. So there is always a change in size, volume or area due to heat. Here, this is what we are talking about. Now, this thermal expansion can be categorized into 3 points: linear expansion, superficial expansion, and cubical expansion. See, linear expansion is increase in length. Just like when you are increasing a rubber band in your hand, you are stretching it out. That is called linear expansion. Okay, when you have a paper, it was folded, you increase it, you open the folds, it expanded in area, right? It was smaller paper, it increased to a larger paper. That was an increase in area. We would call that a superficial expansion. See, increase in length and breadth. You must know area what it is. And the third one which we are talking about is the cubical expansion. Cubical expansion, for a very easy example, is the playing dough. You have a dough, you add a bit of more clay into it, it becomes a bigger dough. That is cubical expansion or increase in its volume. See, the definitions and the examples are given below with a picture. You can easily go through them. I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, then now we come to the much awaited part, temperature. Temperature, we'll go through the definition. Temperature is the degree or intensity of heat present in a substance or object, especially as expressed according to a comparative scale and shown by a thermometer or perceived by touch. Now you can see these two thermometers, a very funny thermometer, one feeling very hot and one chilling out because of the cold. So while I was talking about previously about the degree or the intensity, this is what I was talking about, a comparative scale. We compare it. This is 100 degree, while this is 50 degree. This is 10 degree, this is 80 degree. We can compare, refer or objectify using the scale of temperature. This is the basic definition of temperature. This is the standard definition. You can learn this up. This is the exact definition copied from your book. It will really help you if you are asked in your exam to define temperature or what is temperature. Write down this point, you will get 100% marks. So temperature has 3 units, just like mass has kg, gram, pound, length has meter, kilometer, centimeter. Temperature too has scales or units. The first one, Celsius, which is mostly used in India. Kelvin, which is the SI unit. SI unit, you must be knowing, it is the standard unit. And Fahrenheit, it is one more unit, mostly used in USA. So these 3 are the basic units of temperature. We'll talk about more about the conversion. You will come across sums or numericals for the first time in physics. So this much we are keeping to this much. Too much of knowledge at one go will really confuse you up. We'll talk about the conversions or practical sums on temperature or heat in the next video. Till then, you can rewatch the video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the like button, share it with your friends, share knowledge, and we'll keep on providing with you new videos every week.